Hello ladies and gents, it's time for some more Romance of the Three games. Let's see what sort of stages we have today. First, as usual, we'll be dealing with Wu's Musu mode. We've defeated Meng Huo, as it says in the text, and of course we defeated the hardest stage in the game, at least arguably the hardest stage in the game, the Nanman campaign. Of course the final battle in the Musu mode is equal-ish in difficulty to that, so well, I'll decide when I get there which one I think is harder. Anyway, there's some crazy text about Shu being in a line formation. Not really sure if that's helpful or relevant or even true, but anyway, we're into the Battle of Yiling, the famous battle where I guess Lu Xun, you could say, was defeated by the Shu forces, but we're going to try and turn that around and have Wu forces storm to victory. We have a bunch of morale 4 units. The enemy has a couple of 4 and a whole bunch of 5 units, so in the beginning the balance is just about on the enemy side, but it's not very much. But of course in this battle the Wu forces have a trick up their sleeve, and the only real problem with this trick is that I have no idea how you make it work. So we'll find out.
To incinerate the Shu forces. Lu Xun will take command. Follow his orders exactly.
I'll follow his orders exactly.
Until the Shu forces charge out, we'll stay on guard.
Actually no, I'm not going to follow his orders. I am just going to rush in and kill everyone. Pretty sure if I had just stayed on guard as Lu Xun recommended, nothing good would have happened. So I rushed forward. There's an enemy officer, Zhang Bao. He went down pretty fast. Rushed forward a bit more, and then Wei Yan, one of the ridiculously epic enemy generals, challenged me to a duel, and I was like, well, fine. He only had 3 morale, so eliminating him wouldn't really be a boon to our side, but I thought I'd just do it for my own personal amusement. Plus I didn't want to turn down the duel, might lose some morale or something. So here we go, let's take out this guy. He's a little bit of a beast in the Dynasty Warriors portrayal. In fact, he's basically a beast. He's a beast who's very good at blocking and parrying, apparently. So far I'm not doing too well. I've already wasted the first 15 seconds. Oh, here we go, I'm getting some damage on him now. At least a tiny bit of damage. We're just flying about all over the place. It seems that using block to bait them into charging up an attack is a good way to sneakily attack around their guard. Whoa, he almost kills me with a combo. Luckily my true Musu charges up just before he can hit me with the last attack of the combo. I turn around and kill him with my true Musu. Very cheap.
Next time.
Maybe next time, Wei Yan. So there we go, the duel was won. Hip hip hooray. So now I spotted this other enemy officer, Guan Xing, is just outside this little base I'm in, so I thought, let's go for him. First I'm going to pull off a little trick shot with my bow there. Oh, hit him in the foot. Pretty cheeky.
Do not be distracted by the Shu forces. Hurry, take down the watchtower.
So Zhu Ran says I need to not be distracted by the Shu forces and take down the watchtower in order to make the fire attack succeed. However, the watchtower is not a very exact definition, and when I got to the enemy camp, pursued by half the enemy army, might I add, there were like 500 watchtowers, and I noticed that there were only 4 targeting reticules when the message came up. So I was like, well, which 4 of these millions of watchtowers did he want me to destroy? And because I was unsure, I just thought, well, fine, I'm going to destroy every single watchtower in the camp. So I started rushing around, taking out watchtowers. There's an enemy officer in the camp as well, Wan Ping, so I thought, well, I need to take him out. But I was distracted by seeing this watchtower back here, and I was like, no, you can wait, Wang Ping, I've got to hit this watchtower, remember? Managed to take out some of his troops and do some damage to him, whilst also hitting the watchtower, so that was pretty good. I like how the archer just fools off and then just jogs away, like, I'm not getting involved in this. So now with the watchtower gone, I was sufficiently undistracted to kill Wang Ping. But there were still more watchtowers over here on the bank of the river, so I thought, well, these seem like a good place to take them out, considering this is supposedly where the infiltration is happening. But unfortunately I get a message saying the enemy watchtowers have spotted the infiltration force, so even though I took out all the ones I could find, I guess I didn't take out enough.
Set the fires as we planned.
So Lu Xun decides to just go ahead with the fire attack anyway, so luckily I didn't fail the fire attack mission by not taking out the watchtowers. But instead what I have to do is guard Zhu Ran as he walks through the enemy camp. So I proceeded to do that. He just kind of walked up and down. Luckily I'd already taken out a lot of the enemy troops. I kind of got bored because Zhu Ran was trying to kill a gate captain and was taking ages, so I started using my bow to just take out some of the archers around. We can see I got bored of that myself as well, just finished them off for him. So we got pretty deep into the enemy camp. The enemy officer Ma Dai rushed out of the stone sentinel maze, decided to start try and do, I don't know, guess trying to stop me. He's not doing very well, is he? Now Lu Xun spontaneously decides to give the order to actually set fire to the enemy camp. Well, that's pretty useful. So everything suddenly sets on fire back in the enemy camp. It says the fire attack has succeeded. Now the morale balance is going to start rapidly shifting towards our side, so it's pretty good. And Liu Bei, the enemy commander, who was sitting just at the back of the enemy camp, decides to pull back inside the castle that was behind him. Bai Di Castle, as it says there.
We cannot destroy that gate from the front. Go around and attack from the back.
So as Sun Jian says, you can't go into the gate, the castle, sorry, through its main gate. You have to go through the stone sentinel maze to actually get in. Stone sentinel maze is just this weird kind of giant area of the map, a grid section, where the joining pieces between the grids arbitrarily open and close, and you just have to find a route through it. It took me, well, over a minute to find it, which is quite a long time considering I was riding around on a horse and you can easily investigate every possible route in a minute. But eventually I found that if you just kind of went right around the outside, it just worked, so that was pretty easy. There we go, the maze has been cleared. There's meant to be troops waiting for me on the other side, but they're going to face my lightning. So, immediately after that, this happened. Looks like Zhuge Liang has spontaneously pulled some ships out of his pocket and has dumped them down outside the castle. So these ships spawn in with a whole bunch of enemy troops as well, between the enemy main camp and our main camp.
Forces, march around the stone sentinel maze. Cross the river and attack the enemy camp.
So with this, all of the Shu forces suddenly start charging into our main camp and get a morale boost. So I thought, well, I'm screwed now. I started chasing after them. I thought, well, I can't really get to the main camp before they do, but at least I can bring up the rear and start taking some of the officers out. The first one I encountered here was Yan. Liu Bei was there in the background too, but he decided not to get involved in this fight. Thought I'd do a little bit of cavalry combat here, just to kind of, I don't know, piss them off. Eventually they managed to hit me off and I decided to go back to fighting them normally. You can see Yan spawned in with 7 morale, and Zhuge Liang, his morale rose up to 8 after he pulled up this little stratagem. So I'm in trouble. You can see on the map on the top right, Sun Jian, our commander, is actually fighting with the enemy. So we have a situation where our commander is fighting with a morale 8 enemy officer, which is the exact sort of situation where you will just lose spontaneously, because morale 8 units can delete anything they touch as they walk across the map. Still, I felt compelled to stay back here and take out Lei Tong, one of Liu Bei's subordinate officers. Once that was done, I thought, well, I need to actually get in and start dealing both with Zhuge Liang and his rank morale 8 troops, and with Liu Bei. Could just try and find Liu Bei and end the battle right now. Zhuge Liang was who I came across first, along with Wu Lan, one of Liu Bei's subordinate officers. Started really slicing into a massive horde of him and his bodyguards, and he offers me a duel. And I thought, okay, I'll go for a duel with Zhuge Liang. That can't be too hard. He does only have a fan, right?
Undisciplined.
Unfortunately, Zhuge Liang, as you can see by the weird kind of lightning bolts pulsing around him, is super powered up in this stage, so he's kind of invincible. You can see my attacks don't really do any damage. There just isn't actually enough time in the duel to take all of his health bar off. He uses his Muso on me, but it's very mistargeted and does absolutely no damage. Then he manages to take off a whole bunch of my health just with his parry attack. And you can see I'm also struggling to hit him because he's doing so much damn blocking. There we go, got another nice combo on him. He's almost down to half health, but we're beyond down to half time. So far I'm definitely not going to win. Oh, we're sort of equal on health now. Oh, now I'm about to die. And oh, Zhuge Liang's health just went back up to full. Okay, well that's helpful. So there was a potentiality that if his health hadn't randomly gone back up to full, I could have killed him there with my full Musu, but because it just kind of came back somehow, that didn't happen. So instead we fought to a draw, and our overall force morale dropped as a result, and that made things even worse. Not good. Now we proceed into a fairly long sequence in which I'm going to try and battle both Zhuge Liang and Liu Bei, and Wu Lan for that matter, simultaneously, along with all those bodyguards. My own bodyguards got lost in the Stone Sentinel maze, and they only just got out about this stage in the battle. So they're now very gradually making their way back to me through the enemy camp and over the enemy's waterway. It's going to be a while before they show up, so I'm pretty much on my own against this huge horde of enemies. It's very satisfying to hack into this huge group of enemy bodyguards and just see their health being gradually chipped away. Knowing that with each slash you get a little bit closer to isolating those enemy officers. When they're isolated, you'll probably win. Wu Lan dies by accident when I throw enemy troops into him with one of my attacks. That was pretty cheeky. I noticed that back here there are tons of archers hanging around, so I thought I would leave the enemy officers for a second to take out these archers. Zhuge Liang and Liu Bei still following me around. Only now do they actually bother to try and kill me, and the second they do, they instantly get me down onto red health. I was a little bit worried, so I thought I'd try and make my escape. Liu Bei comes in again. Oh god, I can't let him kill me. This would be it'll be just like what happened last week with Yanmei. I'd learned my lesson about fighting Liu Bei when on red health, so I thought I'd run away. I saw this pot, jumped at it, and sure enough had some health in it. I still wanted to take out those archers, so I just kind of knocked Liu Bei away. Just my super sideways jump, dodge Zhuge Liang, take out that poor lone archer. So now you can see I've almost isolated these two officers, taken out pretty much all of their guards. My bodyguards are not too far away from actually joining me as well. I spotted an ointment in the background. That's going to max out my health and Musu bars. I thought I'd grab that. Take out the last of their bodyguards there. Oh no, there's still one there. Trigger my Musu on Zhuge Liang. Because he has that superchargedness, it doesn't really do as much damage as it does against all the other officers, but still gets his health down. And there's all my bodyguards. They all showed up. Hooray. So now they've joined the party. Liu Bei actually runs away, which is quite convenient, which means I can take Zhuge Liang out on his own. I know Liu Bei just came back, riding the hex marks. The hex mark. His crazy unlucky horse. Liu Bei just cheekily spreads his sword across me, and then I whomped him. Oh no I don't, he dodged my final attack. Very cheeky by him. You can see Zhuge Liang's being kept extremely busy by my bodyguards. Rushing in to take him out. Now all I have to do is finish off Liu Bei.
I have bought enough time.
He thinks he's bought enough time. What he thinks is going to happen in the remaining 30 seconds of this battle, I'm not sure. Liu Bei is already on the verge of death, and with Zhuge Liang being annihilated, there are now no powerful enemy units left, basically, so victory is guaranteed. And there he goes. And then right at the end, there's Sun Jian, still fighting away with all those enemy troops. I was very lucky that he didn't die. I felt like he should have died, considering there were such high morale enemy officers fighting him. Maybe he had high morale. I don't know. We'll be able to see in the replay right after this. So it looks like we started the battle, both sides fairly equal morale. Wei Yan went down straight away. Here's me rushing into the enemy camp and then running around trying to take out all those watchtowers, taking out Wang Ping as well. So this must be when I'm fighting with a Zhu Ran, coming down, taking out Ma Dai. So the fire attack happened now. You can see all the units are rushing about. Shu morale is very low, ours is quite high, so we're doing quite well for a while. We make it through the maze. Suddenly Shu morale jumps up loads. Huangzhang, Zhuge Liang all have massive morale. And then you can see I sufficiently distract Zhuge Liang and Liu Bei from Sun Jian and perhaps manage to allow him to survive. Looks like Sun Jian finished the stage on 6 morale. Not bad, that's probably why he was able to survive for so long. Got an upgrade to the Tiger Amulet among the discarded items, so that was pretty good. Means we're going to be more powerful next time. Always useful. You can also see Zhou Tai has maxed out his attack stat, so he's pretty much as powerful as he can be, really. Almost no kills from the bodyguards because they spent half the stage running around trying to look for me. Poor guys. Anyway, it's time to move on to extreme mode. It's time for mission 16, and we're in a pretty good situation from last time. We have tons of health after I bought that ointment. Now it's time to pick a new stage. There was a exchange rate 3.8 at the top, but it had such a boring description I didn't really want to do it. Whereas this 3.1 exchange rate stage had a monster terrorizing the people, which sounded pretty exciting, and it said there was some sort of special offer going on in the shop. So I thought, well, the money I save in the shop will make up for the money I don't make from the exchange rate, so I'll go for it. Got a load of stuff here, including Shahudun. Decided to pull him into my party, so I had another officer companion. They had this dragon bauble which adds 5 minutes to mission time, so I thought, well, that's useful because that's 5 more minutes to look for health. Also purchased this dim sum, so Lu Bu's life bar I think is now maxed out. Possibly it could go a little bit higher. One more dim sum will max it out. I was about to leave, but then I suddenly realised that I was thinking I needed to be less stingy, so I just rushed back in and bought that meat bun since it was at a discount price. I didn't really need it, but Zhang Liao needed it, and I guess I needed it a little bit. So now I'm going to be on full health, and Zhang Liao's going to have a little bit more health, which is kind of useful. So the objective is to kill Da Qiao, who's just outside this little town we start in. Xiahou Hui is the only other allied officer. He's not going to do much in this stage. We start surrounded by a couple of enemy officers and a load of troops. So just really have to fight my way out of the initial troops and start taking down those officers before I move on to Da Qiao. There are large parts of the map with no enemies on them at all, but I'm still going to find a way to make my way over there. Gotta look for that health. So first of all I came across Hua Xin and he went down pretty fast. Looks like Xiahou Dun stole the kill from me, but because I have maximum weapon experience I'm not so annoyed about losing kills now.
Hey, please stop! Some kind of monster in trouble. Please get rid of this.
So as the peasant says, there's some sort of monster just outside the castle and he wants me to get rid of that menace. You have no choice but to agree, so I guess I'm going to do that. Before I left the castle, it looked like Dong Zhuo was hanging around the gate, so it was time for me to take him out. He claims I'll never get by him. Well, let's see how long it takes me to get by him then. Where is he? Oh, there he is. So I take out all his bodyguards pretty fast. Now when I start actually eating into his health, he loses half his health in the first attack. Tried to use my level 6 charge again and took a hit. So just like last time, using my level 6 charge really seems to just make everything go wrong. It's not good. Anyway, so with that there's only a few enemy troops left in this little town, so I wasn't too worried about that. I rushed forward and the monster appeared. Turns out it was just Lu Xun. I guess he's like really drunk, riding around on this elephant just on a crazy rampage. So I guess that is pretty monstrous. So it looks like it was up to me and my companions to take Lu Xun out. Someone's got to put Lu Xun in his place. He's probably just celebrating the recent victory at Yiling. Gone a little bit crazy. Stole his elephant just to show him a little bit of his own medicine, but fighting on the elephant was not a very efficient way, so I thought I would just come down and attack him with my companions. Both Zhang Liao and Xiahou Dun were doing a great job of keeping him distracted. Also did a great job there in 2 instances of managing to block his Musu, which probably would have completely decimated my health bar because he's really powered up Lu Xun. So you can see between the 3 of us, we're really keeping Lu Xun on, just unable to attack at all. We're just constantly damaging him, so he never has a chance to attack and is constantly staggered. It's extremely cheap, but I guess I'm just a cheap kind of guy, especially playing as Lu Bu. It's all about being cheap and just not giving the enemy a chance. My lightning actually finished him off, but luckily it still counts as me doing it, so I completed the mission, and the peasant gives me a mysterious item. Xiahou Dun thinks it was worthwhile to have done that. Well, thank you, Xiahou Dun. Thank you for helping me out. Anyway, I moved on, getting close to the enemy commander now. There's one more officer between me and the commander. Who is it? Jiang Man Cheng. Took a couple of hits while fighting with his unit, which is quite annoying. Still, my health bar is pretty high. Haven't found any health yet. However, I'm going to have ample opportunity to look for health in a moment. Enter into a weapon deadlock. Who is going to win? Well, it didn't even matter who was going to win there because Zhang Liao was already musuing him, so regardless of what had happened, he would have gone flying. Zhang Liao's really putting the pressure on this guy. Luckily, it's me who manages to get the finishing blow. So it was at this point during the stage, I thought, you know, I have at least 10 minutes remaining. I'm going to walk around the entire stage and look for health. And here's a representative clip of me doing so right on the other side of the stage. Didn't find any though, didn't find a single damn thing. I searched for something like 7 or 8 minutes of the stage for that health and didn't find anything. Anyway, so now I've moved back to where Da Qiao is. There's a whole bunch of archers, so I thought I'd take them out before fighting with Da Qiao. I'm just getting bombarded by arrows. Health bar gradually being chipped away by those arrows. They don't do so much damage at this stage. Ugh, there's some more. Mainly it's just annoying because it breaks up your attacks turn around to take out all these bodyguards, and it turns out Dakiao was standing behind me, and Zhang Liao and Xiahou Dun have been keeping her busy the whole time, so again, thanks to those guys, they're doing very well. Xiahou Dun goes off and starts juggling Dakiao while I take out some of these guards. However, in the background there, you can see Dakiao is actually owning Xiahou Dun up a little bit. Xiahou Dun says he's not going to last, so I rushed over to try and save him. Very good teamwork with Xiahou Dun. He used his announce to break her guard to allow me to get some attacks in. Very nice. Xiahou Dun's really just spamming his announce there, stopping Dakiao from guarding anything. All my little conscripts who I hired are now getting into the fight, so it's really going my way. Some of my bandits are still there in the background. I still have a lady guard unit, but it only has one actual lady in it, so there is one lady in my army who follows me around. I very occasionally see her wandering around, but she's apparently invincible and just won't die. I've had her on my side for a while. Maybe one day an enemy officer will take her out or something, and I'll be able to hire a new set of lady guards to replace the troop slot. Anyway, as you can see, me and my allies are not giving Dakiao a chance, just like we did to Lu Xun. And she's going to go down right about now. There we go. It's another victory for Lu Bu. That's a nice little stage. No health, which is a shame, because I opened so many pots. I had that plus 5 minutes thing, which meant I had extra time to look for pots, so I found pretty much every pot on the stage. But yeah, no health. Very disappointing. Got an upgrade to the Fire Orb, pointless wing boots, and a pointless peacock urn. So I guess some of those things will have been what the peasants gave me. Almost no experience because there weren't many officers to kill, or that many troops to kill, which is a shame. So I did not actually get very much money off this stage. Although actually look, my item trade was 1,000. So I'm going to make like 3,000 gold just from the item exchange. Not bad. Anyway, we're now moving on to Yanmei's empire. Remember last time I got taken out when I tried to attack Liu Bei. And I said that this time I would have no choice but to defend Changan, because Dong Zhuo is going to attack it for the second time, and if you don't choose to make a stand and defend it on the second time, you automatically lose the region. So I had to get in there and defend Changan. That means it's going to be a shorter battle than normal. Defensive battles only last half as long as offensive ones, and you automatically win if you haven't lost after 15 minutes basically. So you don't actually have to do anything to win the battle, you just have to not lose. So you have to not die and not let the main camp fall. So that is my objective. I thought that just to make sure I win this time, I'll get a nice, like, full set of items out. So I got the Tiger Amulet, Tortoise Amulet, Nanman Armor to defend against those damn archers, and the Fire Orb. You can see I equipped. This just gives basically a little bit of extra damage to all my charge attacks, just burn damage just after you do it. So it's essentially an attack buff, equipping that. Allied morale, as seems to be the norm of recent, begins on almost nothing, whilst enemy morale begins super maxed out, including a maxed out Lu Bu, who is just waiting to rampage through our forces. So it didn't look very good from the beginning. The enemy has over double the amount of troops that we do.
This battle will be difficult.
Yanmei, well, puts it pretty straightly right at the beginning of the battle there. So first of all I ran forward. Hua Zhong was hanging about. He wasn't actually attacking any of our bases, he was just kind of standing around in between the bases. I thought, well, I'll take him out just for now. Again, this stage is split into quadrants. So basically I had to make tactical decisions about which quadrant I personally was going to occupy, because I move so slowly that moving between the quadrants takes a long time, and a lot can happen in a very short amount of time in a battle like this. I could suddenly lose the battle spontaneously if I move too far away from my main camp, and then a morale 8 enemy officer just rampages up there and captures it instantly, which can happen. You can see Zhang Ba, immediately after engaging the enemy, is deleted off the map, so he dies straight away. He wasn't very useful. Quite a lot of allied officers die in this stage. It wasn't very good. We were really getting whomped. I moved forward to attack the enemy camp, and Lu Bu was standing there, and I thought, well, that's just my luck. Luckily, you can see I actually got a really nice combo on him, which was ruined only by the fact I got hit by an arrow immediately afterwards. He was about to skewer me with his halberd and then give me a serious whomping, but I just used my Musi to clear him out, but then kills me anyway. Zhurong reliably informs me that it's really greasy out here, which is pretty much perfect advice. Anyway, at this stage I thought, well, I'm going to die, better get out of here. Lu Bu started chasing me. Now I have to really dodge his attacks. Pretty sure he can one-hit kill me if he wants to. We also saw the message there that enemy reinforcements are approaching. And the enemy indeed got 2 units of morale 8 reinforcements, which were pretty damn annoying. They're on the east side. Luckily I had so many allied officers just piling into the gateway between the northeast and southeast quadrants of the map that by simple attrition the enemy wasn't able to kill enough of my men to get near the main camp for now. Pretty useful. So Lu Bu, after I had that initial skirmish with him, moved up and captured the base that I had spent the beginning of the battle capturing. I wanted to take it back, and you can see my attempt to do so has almost led to me dying. Yanmei says aloud that retreat would be the best option. The last time she said that, which was when we were fighting with Liu Bei, I died, but this time things are different. Retreat really wasn't the best option, and instead I managed to push Lu Bu, of all people, right back off all the field. And now I can recapture this base. I decided again to take the offensive to the enemy. This time it was Zhou Tai on the exit from the river who I had to fight, along with these two cloned lieutenant generals who kept using the force on me, which was pretty damn annoying. Ma Chao was defeated over in that little gateway again. Luckily I still have at least 1 or 2 officers sitting in the gateway ready to soak up enemy attacks. Loads of my officers kept falling prey to enemy taunts during this stage. I lost at least 2 officers to taunting, which was very annoying. Usually I'm not that unlucky.
We can't fall behind.
You can see Zhou Tai isn't having a very good day as I slowly whack her across the river. Unfortunately, because of that bodyguard behind her, I missed the opportunity to finish her off, and she actually runs away. And of course, Yanmei's pretty slow, so I can't really just catch up with her. So I just have to let her go. Zhangba's defeated again. Damn it, Zhangba, he is not doing very well today. You might notice that I didn't bring Yu Mi onto the field today. I wanted to give him a rest. He hasn't been doing so well recently, and I thought maybe that's just because he's fought every single battle so far and he needs some time out. So, took out Hua Zhong there. Lu Bu respawns conveniently. I really wanted to leave this part of the map and go and help my allies on the east side, but enemy officers kept respawning and then coming up this side. And I thought, well, if I don't guard it, they'll probably just sneak around and hit the main camp. So I thought I had to just keep sticking around. And on at least 2 or 3 occasions, I ran all the way back to the main camp thinking I'm going to go round to the gates. And then came all the way back to here again, just because I realised that Lu Bu or something was about to storm his way up. I've probably done that twice by this point in the stage, just seeing now. So Guo Si got taken down just now. He's left a whole bunch of troops and lieutenant generals, but they're not going to last too long. And here's Guo Si again, not too long afterwards. This is when I crossed the river to attack the enemy camp. Managed to actually make it into an enemy base this time rather than being pushed back at the river, and Guo Si for some reason was there again and just respawned super fast. So I thought, fair enough, I'll just kill you again. If you're that eager to get back onto the battlefield and be defeated, then so be it. You can see on the east side on the map on the top right that some of my allied officers have actually really pushed into the southeast quadrant. So actually all of our forces are really starting to move out of our base and capture some serious enemy territory in this battle, even though we're so outnumbered and outmoraled. So I captured that base that we just saw and moved forward to the next enemy base, but Sun Shangjiang, one of the enemy's reinforcement units, was here, and she turned out to be pretty powerful because she's so fast, whereas Yanmei is so slow. I just don't have any way of actually damaging her, unfortunately. So I thought I'm going to start running away for now. You can see in the top right of the screen that there's only 30 seconds of the battle left. And as I said, if I can just not lose for those 30 seconds, I automatically win. However, I'm going to make that as hard for myself as possible by taking on all these enemy officers simultaneously. When both Zhou Tai and Sun Shangjiang started killing me, as you can see now, I thought, well, screw this, I'm not going to lose with 13 seconds left on the clock. I started just running, crazily jumping, hoping I could survive. I could survive 10 more seconds. Get out of it, Sun Shangjiang. I saw I had my Musu and I thought, well, I can just use the last 5 seconds using my Musu. It takes about that long to play the animation. And there we go, by the time my Musu ends, the battle was won. Well, that was pretty cheeky, but at least it's a victory for Yanmei, unlike last time. So we've definitely made a little bit of, well, not forward progress, but it's not backward progress either. We've kept our region. And at least we've shown Dong Zhuo's forces that we're not to be messed with. We're not going to just let them have Changan back. Huge casualties, as was expected from the number of allied officer withdrawals that had to take place. You can see Ma Xiao and Zhu Rong have lost basically all of their troops, but we captured Hua Zhong, who was the enemy officer I defeated the most in this stage. Although I actually didn't show you that in that footage, I cut out a lot of the times I defeated him because it's very boring. Anyway, I saw that I had quite a lot of money, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to hire Huazhong. I don't actually need any new lieutenants, but I thought I'd hire him just to spite Dong Zhuo's forces. And he immediately levels up when I bring him in, so that's pretty good. So I now having a level 5 lieutenant's better than what I had before, so turns out it actually was a pretty useful purchase to bring him into my army. So we'll see if Yanmei manages to stage a successful counter-invasion of Luoyang next time. My voice is really going. I commentated the last 2 episodes in a row, which is why my voice has almost disappeared, so for now I think I will leave you until the next episode of Romance of the Three Games.